Hey people, Intro here, 3v3 faction war. This is Garvus Ice Gate and Chaos Space Marines versus Tyranids. The blue Chaos fellas got two Plague champions. First up here is Willy Wonka with some Black Legion. We have Kyokan, I'm going to say, with some Death Guard Elite scheme. These guys start off with a damage of a time bolt gun. They can get melee weapons, some strong utility and support, can also repair. Alongside them, Kufex is a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero, walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. For the red Tyranid team, the Tenso with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, can infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support. Already found some heretics to munch on, and munch on them pretty good. Alongside, reLiC as a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling hero, great mobility, powerful offense, and a bit of support. Begins with ranged Devourer weapons. You can see the tunnel in the background there. And rounding off the teams, Wisp-in-a-bottle is a Hive Tyrant, a durable hero, walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, support, and disruption, fighting in melee by default with a basic synapse. I shall call you Ricardo. CSM getting swarmed by double Hormagaunts here. Ricardo, the Hive Tyrant, of course, also involved, going after the Plague champion, so he can't fire that damage of a time bolt gun. This is the contested east side of the map, with a victory point there for these fellas to fight over. Naturals in the south and the north, and it looks like kufex has pushed through the mid and had a good early fight, and they're going to try and decap here. They could have run up and squashed that tunnel with the Chaos Lord, and those heretics maybe should have decapped that wreck point, but looks like they want the central points maybe, because Tyranids have noted that power look. Back towards the southeast, Plague champion now with light grenades to try and punish those double Hormagaunts. Heretics seeing off those guys, almost finished them actually. 5 hit points on this fella, gets away. Ricardo still nice and healthy, trying to keep the Plague champion tied up. You see, who was that? Willy Wonka there, trying to keep moving so they could try and fire on the move. CSM backing away from Ricardo. Plague champion able to fire freely now. Here come heretics. Are they going to try and fight the Hive Tyrant? It's double CSM now for Willy Wonka. Also double CSM for Kyokan, who's fallen in the southwest here. CSM trying to cap things and shoot this contested power point. Mid contested power is still red, although the node has been destroyed. Warrior Brood up here for the Tenso, rotating them to the mid for a bit. Ravener Brood on the way for reLiC and for Wisp, and Havoc's on the way for Willy Wonka on that east side. Kufex with Noise Marines up. Be very useful against the double Termagants that reLiC has, and the Ravener Alpha, of course. They can shut down ranged attacks with that sonic blaster they carry. Does some good damage to infantry too in an area. We're going to see it here. Maybe. There we go. There's a little blast of it. On the west side, node is bashed, but here comes a Lictor Alpha with feeder tendrils, a power weapon that heal on hit. Really bad news for those Chaos Space Marines who can't see this guy right now. Kyokan needs to get an aspiring champion so they can spot that infiltrated Lictor Alpha. This is bad now for Kyokan. Warrior Brood with a Barbed Strangler. Heretics need to run. Took their time to run. So did the CSM. Maybe they were waiting for the Plague champion. Although he doesn't really have anything to help. I thought maybe they had the fetid armor for Unholy Stench or something. Plague champion goes down again. Stabbed in the torso. Here's Havoc's now. They can suppress with that heavy bolter, but not before they get suppressed themselves. And the Lictor Alpha will get in and massively threaten them with those feeder tendrils. We have Adrenal Glands in as well. Takes another model. Tons of XP going in on that Lictor Alpha. Here we see kufex with a flank. Chaos Lord hits level 2. You'll often see Combi Flamer up against Tyranids, but no sign of it yet. Spent their power on Noise Marines and some grenade launchers too. Lictor Alpha goes for the Noise Marines, gets a good special immediately, and kills one. There's the cacophony to knock them down, but there's a bunch of stuff in retreat path. Hormagaunts in amongst the heretics, making them run. Grenade barrage did go off though. Plague champions back to their feet. Looks like maybe they were just repurchased over here because they have full health already. Yeah, I don't think Willy Wonka came down there. They couldn't have done it that fast. And kufex certainly didn't because we were watching them. There's Kill the Weak, starting ability of the Chaos Lord. Lictor Alpha is going to fall here, I think. Yep, down they go. Get a sync kill. Crack to the back of the head there. We'll see if reLiC can come over and revive. And some zombie Hormagaunts, thanks to a Plague Sword of Kaioken. Over on the east side, it is Willy Wonka pushing through, bashing power and decapping it. Havocs, did they get charged? They did indeed get charged with extended carapace. That's a really good Black Grenade, although they did hit the Heretics as well. Oh, and the double CSM. They just hit everything. CSM are okay-ish. These guys have dropped a model. No Eternal War for those guys yet, despite them yelling ready for Eternal War just then. Can you get Ricardo down? One more hit will do it. Smack, there it is. The Plague Sword ignores melee resistance. Incredibly powerful trait to have. Although it also doesn't increase its damage as the Plague Champion levels, I believe. But it's ignoring 40% damage resist for going through melee resistance. Not everything has melee resistance, but most Marines and all heroes and stuff do. So it's quite killy, even though it doesn't get more powerful as you level. And of course you get zombies out of it. So what have we got here? Double Noise Marines for kufex. Chaos Lord down. Both the Plague Champs up with those Plague Swords. And Black Grenades, of course, on the east side as well. 500 to 296. The Chaos team have not lost the VP yet off their counter. And they are dominating the east side. Noise Marines trying to fight Ravener Brood. Guys, I'm not sure what they're up to. They were not close enough to use their Sonic Blaster then. These guys are. There's a Cacophony knocking back this Chaos Space Marines as well. Warrior Brood there with their melee weapons for the Tenso. Power weapons. They can leap into combat and knock you over as well, which helps out Hormagaunts that follow them. These Hormagaunts with adrenal glands, so the Tenso has double warriors. One with a Barb Strangler, one without. Wisp, though, down to just 2 units. Down to just Hormagaunts and a Ravener Brood. Having a rough time on the east side. There's an assist, though, from reLiC. As the mid player in a 3v3, you really got to be live and aware of your allies having a rough time. Either they got doubled themselves and they just had a bad fight, need to go and help them out, which is what reLiC is doing over there. The Tenso ripping through some Havocs. There's a Doom Blast to suppress them. Havocs trying to set up. This is really risky. Okay, they retreated. I don't think they meant to retreat those CSM there. There might have been a box select by mistake. 2-1 cap, though, for Chaos. And they're all going tier 2. reLiC and Wisp already in tier 2. Willy Wonka's down, though. Need res 2 top, I think Willy Wonka's meant to be saying there. kufex is down. Kaioken can get some XP for reviving here. Not sure what kufex is saying in chat. Venom Brood on the way for reLiC. And you have a Tyrant Guard called in, I believe, by Wisp-in-a-bottle. This is what the Hive Tyrant can do. Call a Tyrant Guard into base in tier 2 using some red and stuff. Which is called Biomass, I believe, for Tyranids. Hence, they have only 19 Biomass left. Hormagaunts taking the Eastern VP. Then we're going to get a full bash here from the double Termagants and a Ravener Brood. Oh, double Termagants and double Ravener Brood. So if the Ravener Alpha can get the Synapse Aura for damage and maybe get a Corrosive Devourer themselves, that could be a nasty ranged blob over there. Meanwhile, kufex back to their feet. That leveled up Kaioken. Chaos Lord runs. Here's a bit of a flank from the Tenso. That Warrior Brood leap. Trying to leap at 2 targets, and it worked because one of the warriors did not leap at the initial target there, so they were able to leap at the second one, since there's an internal cooldown for those leaps. Otherwise, you just switch targets constantly to knock stuff over. A zombie Warrior Brood there. from the sword. And we have Armor of Pestilence in for Kyokan. That slows down your Plague Champion more, but gives him a decent chunk of health and Aura of Decay, although it was nerfed to 500 in a previous update, which I always found puzzling, but here we are. Level 2 Plague Champion gets knocked over by the charge. And we have Rending Talons in for Ricardo, Wisp-in-a-bottle. Plague Champion falls. There's Cacophony, doesn't knock over the Hive Tyrant because it's a big boy. And there's Seismic Roar, a little bit late there. But they do finish off the Noise Marines anyway. Bloodletters on the field for kufex, typically a strong choice versus Tyranids, and as I say that, they die. You don't want to keep them in solo fighting a Tyrant Guard with a bunch of stuff shooting them though. Turning around for the Tyranids in Tier 2 feels like. They have a single cap. On the east side, Willy Wonka's still down. And we have double Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines. Powerful anti-infantry CSM with Inferno Bolts. And if you get their aspiring champion, he gets a demonic plasma gun, which is fun. I mean, it's fun for him. Tyrant Guard still alive, almost leveled up. reLiC goes Tier 3. Which is handy. We might see some noxious clouds from the 2 Plague Champions. They have the red for it. And it can help you recover if you can get a decent noxious cloud in. CSM having a rough time with the Tyrant Guard. They will be very effective at shooting it down with these Inferno Bolts because that Tyrant Guard has super heavy infantry armor. Las Cannon's getting shots in as well. A bunch of shots actually. Tyrant Guard charging in. Hive Tyrant falls over. And now the Mark of Tzeentch fellas can focus down the Tyrant Guard. It might need to go into Shield Wall here. Shield Wall will give it some health regen and vehicle armor, but it's not doing it. There it is. It was very late. Oh, no, maybe they were waiting for energy. I think it's 60 energy. So can it out-heal the Inferno Bolts? Inferno Bolts aren't doing anti-vehicle damage yet, easily able to do it. But the Las Cannon's now going to help out. Meanwhile, west side, Chaos Lord with a kill the week. No war gear for this guy, although he's level 3, he's done well. And that's another Tyrant Guard for the Tenso. Chaos Lord falls. Bloodletters need to be careful. They can phase out of existence. They also have some worship support, which is a massive deal for demons. They need to get closer to it though. I don't think they're close enough here. There we go. They're phasing out of existence, so they can't be damaged or knocked back. And they're going after the other warriors. These guys have Eternal War, but no mark. What happened over here then? They got the Tyrant Guard with the Las Cannon. Ricardo's upset. It's been repurchased, I think, and is coming back to the east side immediately. Las Cannon could have gone for the garrison there, but I guess I don't know what else is going to show up. More Mark of Tzeentch CSM joining the fight. kufex back to their feet. Maybe they can go and revive Willy Wonka. They were already alive, right? Yeah. Or did they die? No, they died here, I think. The Tyrant Guard, yeah. Chaos Dreadnought on the field for Kyokan. That bloated Death Guard belly. What is this? Venom Brood? Took a while. Yep, a Venom Brood in from the Tenso. Tunnel going up on the eastern edge. Might kind of blend in over there. Power bashing Chaos fellas. Mark of Tzeentch CSM with aspiring champion here for Kyokan. There's tons of anti-infantry damage out of those guys. But they might start meeting Carnifexes soon. Look at this tunnel on the western edge. These guys haven't spotted it. They should be taking it out. Because your allies, as a Ravener Alpha, your allies can use the tunnels. Although the network itself can only support 4 units at a time, I believe. And if you're a big stompy thing like a Hive Tyrant or a Tyrant Guard, of course you can't get inside of it. You just break them. So you've got to be careful where you put them outside your own base. Meanwhile, through the mid, big Tyranid push. It looks like it was a nice grenade barrage there. Chaos Lord going in. CSM getting shots, and here come the double mark of Tzeentch, guys. There's no... Oh, they can try and focus down the Venom Brood. Maybe there is Synapse Creature. But here's a surprise party from Ricardo coming in for a flank. All the Tyranids run. Did the Raven Alpha get... No war gear for reLiC. That is very strange. They are set up. If they can get ranged Synapse on the Venom Brood, they can get a really nasty range block going and outshoot those Marco Tzeentch CSM guys, I think, if they all focus fired. Tyrant Guard back to the west side for the Tenso, nice and healthy. The chunk of XP too, these guys will power bash. Chosen Plague Marines up for Kaioken. Double cap for the Tyranids. These heretics are in trouble. Look at that splash damage from the Tyrant Guard attacks. Holy crap. I think it would have wiped the entire squad with like 5 or 6 attacks there because of the splash. Bloodletter's going in again. They'll do really good damage to the Tyrant Guard, but I don't know if they can, if they've got the hit points to fight it effectively 1v1. Yeah, having to phase out. Noise Marines getting too close now. There's some Marco Tzeentch CSM. Plague Champion can also do some good damage to the Tyrant Guard. Lictor Alpha, able to get the cat. Now he's trying to sneak away, I think. No, wasn't even trying to sneak away. There he goes. I think they were in sneak mode. They were just too close to stuff. East side, Raveners exiting the tunnel strangely, but they're alright. There's a Burrow Strike. Heretics there to counter-initiate with their Aspiring Champion. Oh, or they could just worship Nurgle. Was that a misclick? Did they mean to hit... Or a miss keystroke? Did they mean to hit Doom Blast there? I feel like they did. And they worshipped instead. Kufex big noob, apparently. Because they didn't revive, maybe. Maybe. 217, 164. Camaraderie breaking down in the Chaos ranks. Yeah, wanted to revive for 20 minutes, he said. I don't think it was that long. Can they get through onto the VP here? Kufex is capping mid. Still no war gear on that Chaos Lord. They do have some Plague Marines, so they're ready to at least help fight some monstrous creatures. And there is indeed a monstrous... It's a Swarm Lord up for reLiC. Super unit for Tyranids. Powerful in melee. And has some very handy synapses. A reinforcement synapse and a speed synapse. Pretty much exactly what you want. Crushing Claws, Hive Tyrant now. Gonna go down to Chosen Plague Marines, Plague Champions, and some Marco Tzeentch CSM. This guy's very low. Who's this? This is Kaioken. Yeah, Wisp-in-a-bottle is very low on units, although a Carnifex is on the way, and they have Gene Stealers, and that is a Tyrannus formation. Decent hit, stops that advance immediately. And these towers here will have a synapse, buffing these units temporarily. Warrior Brood, level 3 with Adrenal Glands. Over 2,000 hit points on those guys. West side is kind of turning red. Kaioken abandoned it to help out the east side, I think. And that was Kufex trying to push through the mid, which didn't work. Yeah, power uncapped, and there's a tunnel down there too. Lad's kind of getting shots, but I don't think it's going to get him for long. Plague Champion mixing it up. And has Armor of Pestilence. I think we just saw Aura of Decay go off there, maybe. It's one of those abilities that's charged up by taking damage. 3 top says Willy Wonka. Swarm Lord there, buffing, well, yeah, buffing everything around it with speed. And they can reinforce now. Look at the map, turning red. Chaos team have just capitulated. Willy Wonka, though, with some Chaos Terminators up. Do they get Claws? Claws will be amazing against everything aside from the Swarm Lord. And aside from the Carnifex that has popped up. But it would put them... I mean, they have to get into melee to use those claws, which would be dicey. 192 to 138. Swarmlord fighting a Chaos Lord who now has armor of the Inferno. There we go. There's some fire for you. And a very slow retreat. And down they go. Looks like it's falling apart for the Chaos team. Can they recover here? They need one really good fight, maybe to chuck in a nuke, but Kufex and Kaioken, with all the red, are not in tier 3. Kufex probably, I mean, they've got over 900 red. They should have been using Bloodlust and things like that. And the thing that gives you a blood letter, whatever the hell that thing's called, the Ritual of Blood. Here's your Gene Stealers then. Really bad news for the Terminators. Those guys get away, able to teleport out. Current Guard into base, just to hold them up a bit. And Tyranids are going to get a triple cap, and I don't know if the Chaos team can do anything about it. They do have double Plague Marines, and there's tier 3 for Kufex, so they could have time for a nuke. Is Willy Wonka still playing? Oh, there's the concede. They've conceded. I wonder if they could have tried something there. If Kufex said, "Oh, I'm going tier 3. I've got a nuke," maybe they could have got a really good nuke going. I mean, there was a Neurothrope up as well. Would have been tough. Level 3 Plague Champion down, mourned by heretics there. Level 3 Chaos Lord down. Level 4 Plague Champion for Kaioken. The Tenso's Lictor Alpha level 7. Ravener Alpha level 5 never got any war gear. And Ricardo the Hive Tyrant was level 3 and had Warp Field at the end. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you all for watching. Big thanks to these players for playing us a faction war, and the Tenso for sending in a replay and getting this game together. I'll see you guys next time.